Okay. So we are continuing this morning with our reading of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are continuing with hearing Mahaprabhu's description of Mahaprabhu's visit to Sri Vrindavan Dham. And we are hearing of this combination of elements which were causing persons to think that they were seeing Krishna. Specifically a fisherman who in the night time was going into the Jamuna River and fishing, and he had his torch there. And so many persons from a distance, they saw that, and to them it looked like Krishna dancing on the hoods of the Kaliya serpent. And so there was some humor there. And then these respectable gentlemen have offered their obeisances to Mahaprabhu and referred to him as Narayan, as is a custom amongst Mayavadis, referred to sannyasis as Jangam Narayan, a moving Narayan, a form of the Absolute which is moving within this plane. And so Mahaprabhu is going to explain why this is a false conception. Let's see where we are. Prabhu kohe Vishnu Vishnu ihana kahiba jivadame Krishna gyan kavuna kariba. Mahaprabhu immediately exclaimed, Vishnu, Vishnu, do not call me the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A jiva cannot become Krishna at any time. Do not even say such a thing. Sannyasi chitkan jiva kiran kanasam Shadaishvarya Purna Krishna Hoy Suryopam. A sannyasi in the renounced order is certainly part and parcel of the complete whole. Just as a shiny molecular particle of sunshine is part and parcel of the sun itself. Krishna is like the sun, full of 6 opulences, but the living entity is only a fragment of the complete whole. Jiva Ishvar Tattva Kabunahe Sama Jaladagni Rashi Ch.Ch Spulinge Rakana. A living entity and the absolute personality of Godhead are never to be considered equal, just as a fragmental spark can never be considered the original flame. And now we have a quotation. Hladinya samvid ashlishta satchidananda ishvara swavidya samrito jiva sanklesha ikara kara. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller, is always full of transcendental bliss and is accompanied by the potencies known as Hladini and Samvit. The conditioned soul, however, is always covered by ignorance and embarrassed by the threefold miseries of life. Thus, he is a treasure house of all kinds of tribulations. So how can you compare these two things? How can you say that the ordinary jiva is on the same platform as the Supreme Lord? It is foolish. Jai mudako he jiva ishwar hoy sam seto pashandi hoy dande tade jam. A foolish person who says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the same as the living entity is an atheist and becomes subject to punishment by the superintendent of death, Yamaraj. And now another quotation. Yastu narayanam devam brahmarudradi daivatai samatvenaiva viksheta sapashandi bhavedruvam. A person who considers demigods like Brahma and Shiva to be on an equal level with Narayan is to be considered an offender or pashandi. Lokohe tomate kabo nahe jiva mati Krishna sajisha toma akriti prakriti. After Mahaprabhu explains the difference between an ordinary living being and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the people said, "No one considers you an ordinary human being. You are like Krishna in every respect, in both bodily features and characteristics." So now they've got Mahaprabhu here. First they referred to him in this way that, Mayavadis refer to sannyasis, Namo Narayana. And Mahaprabhu has explained this is not correct. And they said, well, you actually are Narayan. So what we're saying is perfectly correct. Maybe we can accept it is not correct in relation to other jiva souls, to others in this world. But for you, it is appropriate. Akritye tomare deki Brajendra Nandan Deho kanti pitamba koilo achadan. By your bodily features we can see that you are none other than the son of Nanda Maharaj, although the golden luster of your body has covered your original complexion. Mrigamada vasche bande tabonalu kai Ishwar sabhav tomar takanahi jai. As the aroma of deer musk cannot be concealed by wrapping it in a cloth, your characteristics as the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be concealed by any means. Alokika prakriti tomar buddhi agochar tomadeki Krishna preme jagat pagal. Indeed, your characteristics are uncommon and beyond the imagination of an ordinary living being. Simply by seeing you, the entire universe becomes mad with ecstatic love for Krishna. Shri Balo Vriddar Chandal Javan Je Toma Ekpar Paidadashan Krishna Nam Loi Nache Hoya Unmata Acharya Hoilo Se Tarilo Jagata. If they see you just once, even women, children, old men, meat-eaters, and members of the lowest caste immediately chant the holy name of Krishna, dance like madmen, and become spiritual masters capable of delivering the whole world. Darshane karyachuk jetomar nama shune se Krishna preme mata tarechi bhuvane. Apart from seeing you, whoever listens to your holy name is made mad with ecstatic love for Krishna and is able to deliver the three worlds. Tomar nam shuni hoye swapacha pavan alokika shakti tomar najai katan. Simply by hearing your holy name, dog-eaters become holy saints. Your uncommon potencies cannot be described in words. And now we have a quotation from Bhagavatam. Yanamadeya shavananu kirtanad yat pravanad yat smaranad api kvachit swadopi sadhya savanaya kalpate kutapunaste bhagavan udarshanat. To say nothing of the spiritual advancement of persons who see the Supreme Person face to face. Even a person born in a family of dog-eaters becomes immediately eligible to perform Vedic sacrifices if he once utters the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or chants about him, hears about his pastimes, offers him obeisances, or even remembers him. Eto mahima tomar tatashtalakan saruplakane tumi Brajendra Nandan. These glories of yours are only marginal. Originally, you are the son of Maharaj Nanda. Se sab loke Prabhu prasad kolilo Krishna preme matalok nija gode gelo. Mahaprabhu then bestowed his causeless mercy upon all the people there, and everyone became ecstatic with love of God. Finally, they all returned to their homes. Emata koto dina akrude rohila Krishna nama premadiya loknishtadila. Mahaprabhu remained for some days in Akrura Tirtha. He delivered everyone there simply by distributing the holy name of Krishna and ecstatic love for the Lord. Madhav Purya Shishya Seto Brahman Matodar Gore Gore Koranani Mantram. The Brahmin disciple of Madhavendra Puri went from house to house in Mathura and inspired other Brahmins to invite Mahaprabhu to their homes. Mathura Jatalok Brahman Sajan Bhattacharya Stanayasi Koreni Mantran. Thus all the respectable people of Mathura, headed by the Brahmins, came to Balabhadra Bhattacharya and extended invitations to the Lord. Ekadin dash bish shaiseni mantran Bhattacharya eke matra koden grahan. In one day, 10 to 20 invitations were received, but Balabhadra Bhattacharya would accept only one of them. Avasana pailok nimantrana dite, sevi presadelok nimantranite. Since not everyone got an opportunity to offer invitations to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally, those who did not requested the Sanodiam Brahmin to ask the Lord to accept their invitations. Kanya Kubja Dakinatya Vaidik Brahman Dvanya Kodi Kode Maha Prabhoni Mantran. The Brahmins from different places, such as Kanya Kubja and South India, who were all strict followers of the Vedic religion, offered invitations to Mahaprabhu with great humility. Pratakaleya krudeyasi ranjan kodiya prabode bikadino shalagrame samarpiya. In the morning they would come to Akrura Tirtha and cook food. After offering it to the Shalagram Shila, they offered it to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll just read this purport. There are Brahmins known as Pancha Gauda Brahmins who come from 5 places in northern India. And there are Brahmins known as Pancha Dakshinatya Brahmins who come from 5 places in southern India. And I believe these are considered to be like very special, sacred places. In northern India, the places are Kanya Kubja, Saraswat, Gauda, Maitila, and Utkal. In southern India, the places are Andhra, Karnataka, Gujarat, Dravida, and Maharashtra. This was actually Janardhan Maharaj's name previously, referring to these 5 sacred places in South India. Pancha Dravidya, that was his sannyas name from Srila Swami, Pancha Dravidya Swami. So I don't know the exact history and significance of those places, but it is certainly there. The Brahmins from these places are considered to be very strict followers of the Vedic principles, and they are accepted as pure Brahmins. They strictly observe Vedic principles and are not polluted by tantric misdeeds. All of these Brahmins respectfully invited Mahaprabhu for lunch. Ekadin se hakrur gater upade vasi Mahaprabhu kiche koden vichade. One day Mahaprabhu sat at the bathing ghat of Akrura Tirtha and thought the following thoughts. Purport: Akrura Tirtha is located on the road between Vrindavan and Mathura. When Krishna and Balaram were being taken to Mathura by Akrura, so you're familiar with that, I think. When Krishna left Vrindavan, because Kamsa was inviting him for a wrestling match, and Kamsa's idea was, of course, to try to kill Krishna. But of course it was the other way around. But so Krishna's uncle, Akura, who is the brother of Devaki, he was sent to bring Krishna. So this Akura Tirtha is on the road between Vrindavan and Mathura. When Krishna and Balaram were being taken to Mathura by Akura, the Lord rested at this place and took his bath in the Jamuna. So on the way, they stopped there. When Krishna and Balaram took their baths, Akura saw the entire world of Vaikuntha within the water. The inhabitants of Vrindavan also saw the Vaikuntha planets within the water. And so it is known as Akura Tirtha, or Akura Ghat. Egate Akur Vaikuntha dekilo Brajabasi loko loka darshana koilo. Mahaprabhu thought, at this bathing place, Akura saw Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, and all the inhabitants of Braja saw Goloka Vrindavan. Etaboli japadila joler upade, dubiado hila prabhu joler bitade. While considering how Akura remained within the water, Mahaprabhu immediately jumped in and stayed underwater for some time. Teki Krishna Das Kandi Vukar Kodilo, Bhattacharya Shigrasi Prabhude Hutailo. When Krishnadas saw that Mahaprabhu was drowning, he cried and shouted very loudly. Balabhadra Bhattacharya immediately came and pulled the Lord out. Tobe Bhattacharya se Brahmane loya, yukti kodila kicho nibite bosiya. After this, Balabhadra Bhattacharya took the Sanodiya Brahmin to a secluded place and consulted with him. Ajiyami achila utailu prabhude vrindavane dubenjadi keota betade. Balabhadra Bhattacharya said, since I was present today, it was possible for me to pull the Lord up. But if he starts to drown at Vrindavan, who will help him? Loker sangatar nimantraner janjal. Nidantara vishprabhur nadekiya balo. Now there is a crowd of people here, and these invitations are causing much disturbance. In addition, the Lord is always ecstatic and emotional. I do not find the situation here very good. Vrindavan hoite jadi prabode kadiye, tobe mangal hoye, balojukti hoye. It would be good if we could get Mahaprabhu out of Vrindavan. That is my final conclusion. So we were hearing the other day that Mahaprabhu, when he was in Puri, he was experiencing ecstatic love. And then when he was on the road, on the way to Puri, that ecstatic love increased 100 times. And then when he reached Mathura, then his ecstatic love increased hundreds of more times. And then when he reached Vrindavan, his ecstatic love increased hundreds of more times again. So he's at this point where he's become a liability to himself. He's in so much ecstasy, he's not able to properly function. And so his servitors, they're concerned, we got to get him out of here. This is too dangerous. Viprakohe prayage prabhu loya jai, ganga tira pate jai, tobe sukha pai. The Sanodiya Brahmin said, let us take him to Prayag and go along the banks of the Ganges. It will be very pleasurable to go that way. Sorok Ch.Ch. jaya kodi ganga snan, se pate prabhu loya kodiye payam. After going to the holy place named Sorok Ch.Ch. and bathing in the Ganges, let us take Mahaprabhu that way and go. Magamas lagilo ebe jadi jaye. Makare prayagasnan kotodina paye. It is now the beginning of the month of Magh. If we go to Prayag at this time, we shall have an opportunity to bathe for a few days during Makara Sankranti. So this is a special period in January. And it is also that time that Mahaprabhu took sannyas, middle of January. I'll read this purport. Yeah, so Magh, is this maybe the beginning of January? Yeah, I think this is in the beginning of January. But so this festival of Makara Sankranti is approaching, so they're saying it would be nice to be in Prayag for that event. Purport: bathing during the month of Magh at the Magh Mela still takes place. This is a very old Mela assembly, dating from time immemorial. It is said that ever since the Lord, in the form of Mohini, took a bucket of nectar and kept it at Prayag, holy men have gathered there every year and observed the Magh Mela. You're familiar with that pastime of Mohini Murti? It's when there was this, you think you've heard of the churning of the ocean of milk? Because they wanted to, the Devas, they wanted to, I'm trying to remember the details of the background. I think because the Devas were under threat from the demons, and so they wanted to try to get this nectar of immortality. I think Lord Vishnu advised them to get this nectar from the ocean of milk. And so they were advised to churn the ocean, and through that, this nectar would come out. And so that's how the Kurma avatar, you know Kurma avatar, the tortoise incarnation, that's how he appeared, why he appeared. He appeared to, or at least one of the reasons why he appeared. He provided the base on which they churned. And so Kurma, he held up this mountain, maybe the Mandar mountain, and then they churned that mountain, they churned the ocean with that mountain. And what did they churn it with? Maybe using some snake, some special snake.
Sounds familiar, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard it before. So they were churning it, and there were many things that came out. And then meanwhile, the demons, they wanted to get in on the action. So there was some agreement that they would split the nectar. So the Devas and the demons, they would both get some of this nectar when it came out. But of course, the Devas, they didn't want the demons to get any of the nectar. I'm getting the details wrong. Maybe the Devas churned it, but then the demons snatched it. The demons stole it. Or maybe they agreed to share it, but the demons just took the whole thing. I can't remember the details. But anyhow, the point about Mohini Murti is that the Devas needed to get this pot of nectar back from the demons. And so they asked Lord Vishnu for help, and Lord Vishnu, in order to get the nectar back, he assumed this form of a very beautiful woman.
Oh, I have heard this, actually.
So she's called Mohini Murti. And so, this is the ultimate weapon. A beautiful woman. So Vishnu appeared in this extremely beautiful form, extremely beautiful. There's some elaborate description somewhere that she was like playing with this ball, like this whole, she created this whole scene like to captivate them. She's playing this ball, and the wind is blowing and exposing her legs. So it was pretty easy for her to get back the pot of nectar. And then, so it's said that she kept some of that in Prayag, which is one of the holy places in India, very prominent in India. And that's where they hold the Kumbh Mela, which you've probably heard of. It's the biggest human gathering on the face of the earth. Millions. It happens, I think there's a small one every year, and then every 12 years there's a major, like millions and millions of people come to it. No, it's not a Vaishnava festival. It's I guess we could say it's a Hindu festival. Yeah, it's huge. So this is so Prayag. It's a very prominent tirtha, holy place in India. It is said that ever since the Lord, in the form of Mohini, took a bucket of nectar and kept it at Prayag, holy men have gathered there every year and observed the Magh Mela. Every 12th year there is a Kumbh Mela. Oh, okay. So on an ordinary year it's called a Magh Mela. And then it's only every 12th year it's called a Kumbh Mela. Every 12th year there is a Kumbh Mela, a great festival. And all the holy men from all over India assemble there. The Brahmin wanted to take advantage of the Magh Mela and bathe there. I mean, I don't know, maybe it is, I actually don't know very much about it. I shouldn't really just say out of hand, it's not a Vaishnava festival. It may be that some Vaishnavas observe it. I don't know the details. But it definitely wasn't anything that I never heard Gurudev talk about it. So it's not something considered very significant in our own line. But that doesn't mean it's not there are many Vaishnava practices. There are different Vaishnava lines, A Vaishnava means someone who accepts the personality of Godhead, Bhagavan. But then, there's different approaches to that, different ideals of Bhagavan that are worshipped. So I don't know, but at least in our own line, it's not something that we put importance on. So this Brahmin wanted to take advantage of the Magh Mela and bathe there. Bathing at the confluence of the Ganges and Jamuna near the fort at Prayag is mentioned in the revealed scriptures. Maghe masi gamishyanti Ganga Jamuna Sangamam Gavam Shata Sahasrasya Samyagdatam Chayat Phalam Prayage Magha Mase Vai Traham Natasya Tatphalam. If one goes to Prayag and bathes at the confluence of the Ganges and Jamuna in the month of Magh, he attains the result of giving hundreds and thousands of cows in charity. Simply by bathing for 3 days there, he attains the results of such a pious activity. Because of this, the Sanodiya Brahmin was very eager to go to Prayag and bathe. Generally, karmis, fruitive laborers, take advantage of bathing there during the month of Magh, thinking that they will be rewarded in the future. Those who are situated in devotional service do not very strictly follow this karma khandya process. Apanar dukkha kichu kori nivedan makar panchasi prayage koriho suchan. The Sanodiya Brahmin continued, kindly submit to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the unhappiness you are feeling within yourself. Then propose that we all go to Prayag on the full moon day of the month of Magh. Ganga tirapate suk janai ho tade bhattacharya sitobe kohilo prabode. Tell the Lord of the unhappiness you will feel in traveling via the banks of the Ganges. Tell the Lord of the happiness you will feel in traveling via the banks of the Ganges. Balabhadra Bhattacharya therefore submitted this prayer to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sahitena padiyami loker gada badi nimantrana lagilo kore huda hudi. Balabhadra told the Lord, I can no longer tolerate the disturbance of the crowd. People are coming one after another to offer invitations. Pratakale aise log, tomare na pai log, mor mata kai. Early in the morning, people come here, and not seeing you present, they simply tax my brain. I think what it's actually saying is eating. They're eating my brain. That's interesting. It's some kind of an expression, because Gurudev used that expression, eating. I was mentioning the other day, Gurudev said that about computers. They eat your brains. But it's also in one of that song, Avatara Sada, there's an expression like that. I ate my own brain. It's some type of expression. They're eating my brain. Tobe sukh hoye jabe, Ganga pate jaye, ebe jadi jai makare, Ganga snana paye. I will be very happy if we can all leave and take the path by the banks of the Ganges. Then we can have the opportunity of bathing in the Ganges at Prayag during Makar Sankranti. Udvigna hoilo pran sahitena padi, Prabhur jayagya hoy se shire dodi. My mind has become very much agitated, and I cannot bear this anxiety. Now everything rests on the permission of your lordship. I will accept whatever you want to do. So this is quite curious, because when you look, if you take this at face value, it sounds like he's complaining, right? He's telling Mahaprabhu, like, I'm really uncomfortable here, we have to go. But it's actually that he's actually, it's not that he wants to go for himself. He actually wants to go because he's concerned about Mahaprabhu's welfare. But he knows that if he says that, Mahaprabhu won't agree. So therefore he has to say, I'm disturbed. And then he knows that's the only way Mahaprabhu will agree. This is like Vaishnava exchange. Only consideration of the other person, no consideration of oneself. It's very beautiful. Although Mahaprabhu had no desire to leave Vrindavan, he began to speak sweet words just to fulfill the desire of his devotee. Tumi amayani dekaila Vrindavan, edina aminaribo korite shodam. Mahaprabhu said, you have brought me here to show me Vrindavan. I am very much indebted to you, and I shall not be able to repay this debt. Je toma ichami seto koribo, jaha loya jaha tumi tahai jaibo. Whatever you desire, I must do. Wherever you take me, I shall go. Okay, I think it's a good place to stop today. We'll continue tomorrow, hearing of Mahaprabhu's travel to Prayag. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki Jai. Would you like to sing? We prefer that I sing. Okay. Hari Haraye Namah Krishna Jadavaya Namaha Jadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Ch.Ch. Guru Ranganatha Ki Hari Ju Ki Jai. Sriyukta Guru Varga Ki Jai. Acharya Shri Devidasi Ki Jai. Sabar Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ganga Jamuna Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devidasi Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Rupa Rupa Shama Radha Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Ki Jai. Vishakha